Today's Spotlight is brought to you in part by presenting sponsor, First Community Financial Bank, the community bank where you come first. If you're just tuning in, you're watching Spotlight. I'm your host, Jane Wernette, and with me now are members of the magical Starlight Theater, Kris Visher and Melissa Matthews. So welcome to Once, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're super excited to have you here. Tell us a little bit, Kris, if you would, about Magical Starlight Theater. What is it?
Well, we're a program of the Naperville Park District. We're a family-oriented, audition-based community theater. We have a production staff that works pretty much 9 months a year to create this venue for telling stories on stage.
That's wonderful. All community-based.
Yes.
Yes. Melissa, what got you involved?
Well, I initially got involved because of my daughter who wanted to audition. So we were new to the community and had been in another production, and they recommended that she pursue Magical Starlight. So once she got in, and I was so impressed by not only the audition process, but then that first read-through, that I started out helping out in the backstage crew and watching her, and then they found out I could sew, and then they found out I had other talents, and
now you're wearing many hats.
I do indeed.
And I think that's important because you're both not only on the board, but you're also wearing many hats. You're directors, you're costumers, you're assistant directors, so you're wearing a lot of different hats in this production company.
I do indeed.
That's what's great about the community. We're not only part of the guiding group that has the vision for the future, but we work it as well. So we're on both sides of the equation. So we know when we ask a volunteer, do you want to participate? We know what that means. We've been there, we've done that. We encourage other people to do it in the same venue. And they grow, like
and
Melissa.
Yeah, they grow. You lure them in, and you just keep bringing them in.
Yeah.
What do you think your role is? I mean, you've touched on it a little bit, but expand a little bit more on what you feel your role is and what Magical Starlight Theater is for the community.
Well, first of all, it is a really affordable way to expose people to live theater. I think it's often an obstacle to take a group down to Chicago or out to New York to see theater. So it's an affordable option for the community. It's also, Magical Starlight prides itself that we have adults and youth working together to create these productions. We cast accordingly, and there's not many places that you can do that with your children as they are growing up. We also create a really positive environment, so it's a safe environment for parents and youth, and plenty of options for people that love theater with all different talents and abilities to be involved, from ushering to sewing to performing to being the lead actor. It's a wide gamut of volunteer opportunities.
I think that's really nice what you're saying too, and that whole sense of having the family together, being able to pursue their passion in a variety of different ways.
And just the multi-generational, I mean, we really see that they learn and they feed and they grow from each other as they go through this experience. So it's always great to watch.
Okay. And have multiple families kept coming back? I mean, do you see it coming back generations? And
yes.
Yeah?
Our current production staff for Seussical has three young people. I say young people, younger than I, that started when they were in high school, that are now postgraduate out in the workforce, who have come back to give back to Magical Starlight, and we could not be more proud or blessed.
That's so
because of that.
Yeah, paying it forward. That's really lovely.
Absolutely.
Now, who decides what your productions are?
Well, our board meets and we discuss what options are out there. But we're so focused on making sure that we serve our constituencies, and we see that as three different groups: our audience, our actors, and our production staff. We want to pick a show that can serve us all, so that the entertainment has to be family-oriented and all people can attend. The scripts have to be challenging and interesting for actors to be drawn to it, and ultimately the production staff needs to exercise their muscle with their creativity to keep improving and expanding our quality. So all those factors, we try and find that perfect show every year.
But I've been to a few, and they're pretty perfect. I think you're doing a good job. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a lot of conversation about that when you're trying to get down to the final one.
It's tough.
So, yeah. Now, in terms of favorite productions, tell me something that's been your favorite.
Oh, and there's something favorite about each and every one that I've been involved in with, but for me that would have to be the very first one, which was Willy Wonka, that I was involved in and that my daughter was in, and I was up in the light booth, and there were just some very magical moments in that show that made it a favorite.
And how did it feel for you watching, as a mom, how did it feel watching your daughter?
I cried every time.
So now talk a little bit about what you've got coming up next, because you kind of alluded to it, but what's the next performance that's coming up?
The next performance is Seussical the Musical, which we will perform in January of 2017, but we will audition in October.
Okay.
It is a very special kaleidoscope of Seuss characters to tell a very endearing, timeless story that is very relevant to all of us every day.
Okay.
Spelled
So
word.
auditions coming up in October.
Correct.
Important that we remember that. Now, where do you perform? I think that's an important thing for folks that don't know. Where do you
Naperville
perform?
Central High School.
Okay.
The large auditorium.
Okay. All right. So right centrally located.
Yes.
If you were to sort of sum up and say what really distinguishes in your mind, and you've talked about a lot of different elements that sort of make Magical Starlight Theater special, what's the thing that really makes it stand apart for you?
The first thing is that we realize that we want to be here for the future and we want to keep growing, and that requires openness to new people on teams, to inviting a new volunteer to join, to give back. So it's the openness, because we have new people on production teams and new cast members all the time. It is our adherence to an open audition policy.
Okay.
You must audition for our show, and we cast from that audition, and any role is available, which I
Okay.
think does keep us unique. There is no pay to play. If you earn a role,
You're in.
you've got the role. And really, it's our attention to detail. We want to make the whole process, which is challenging for everyone, as uplifting and nurturing and successful for everyone. So our attention to detail is our hallmark.
I like that. I like that. And you're really trying, I mean, whether somebody ends up going on to be, this is their life's work or their passion, you're giving that, everybody has that opportunity to grow and challenge themselves through
Absolutely.
the arts, which is really, I think, so much what the arts is all about. If you were to just sum up for us on the audition, because that's coming up in October, what do people need to know about that process in October?
They can certainly find all that information on our website, but they will be asked to do a reading, they will be asked to perform a song, and it is from 4th grade and older.
Okay, so 4th grade and up, come ready to sing, come ready to try out for whatever part you would like to. I thank you guys so much for the work you're doing in the community and for stopping by and chatting with us.
Thank you for having us.
If you would like to find out more about how to audition for Magical Starlight Theater's upcoming production of Seussical the Musical, please visit their website. We're going to take a quick break for a few short messages, but don't go away. We're coming right back with more Spotlight.